Hey guys, my name is Fiona Solis and this is Interview with Travelers and Couchsurfers. Today, my guest, Destiny. Destiny, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Fiona.
Good. Please introduce yourself.
So, my name is Destiny. I'm from Calgary, Alberta in Canada. And I've been traveling for about 2 years now. And I met Fiona about a month ago when I arrived in Bangkok.
Yeah, it's so funny. It was really funny. It was really nice and coincidence.
Yeah.
Story because I was with my two Italian couchsurfer. We went to Couchsurfing Road, and we asked her. She was like, she just arrived and she has her backpack, and we asked her like, excuse me, can you take us photo and stuff like that? And she said sure. And then like after taking a photo, she asked like, do you know any like cheap hostel here? So I said like, oh, like why not invite her? So the two invited her, like why not just join us and stay in Fiona's place? So
that's how I ended up here.
She ended up here, and so you know, strangers turns friends. So that's what's gonna happen. Like, you know, like things unexpectedly and just happen. You know, if you don't ask for it, it's just like normally, and like the universe bring you to people and connect each other. So
exactly.
Correct. The Destiny, how do you know about couchsurfing, and how was your first experience?
So I learned about couchsurfing when I was in Australia last. A German girl that I was living in a hostel with, she told me about couchsurfing as well as a car pooling website called Co-Seats. And so I made myself a couchsurfing, but I kind of left it there. I never actually did anything with it. I made my account, and then pardon me, I didn't do anything with it. So then when I came here, I met Fiona on the street, and she was with her other couch surfers, and I thought, well, this is a great opportunity. Why would I not? What a welcoming way to arrive in Bangkok and meet some new friends, because I was traveling by myself. And it was a great experience. I met you, I met Serena, I met some other girls from Luxembourg. I ended up actually going with the girls from Luxembourg to a small island east of Thailand. Went to Koh Kood, and that was, it was nice. It was beautiful. It was rainy, but it was a really nice island. And then I came back here and I saw Fiona again, stayed a day, and then I was off south, and I went down to, where did I go again? I went to Krabi first. Went to Krabi, and I met my best friends out here, and we started our travels down south of Thailand. So great experience overall. I'm back here again for the third time. Fiona's been lovely. Showed me around, gave me some really good tips and good ways to start my trip in Thailand.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you come back and you contact me, and that, you know, so I'm so happy. So how was your travel in Thailand so far? How was your experience in Thailand?
Yeah, it was really good. The weather on the west side could have been a bit better, but we were going into it knowing it was monsoon season. So other than that, it was really nice to see my friends again. I met some really nice locals. Food was amazing, and the party, right? Party was crazy. Needed a bit of party in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I would say Thailand's beaches in the south were gorgeous. I'd love to come back. I will come back actually, and that's just a must-do. And do the north, do all the waterfalls and the jungle. I learned about from an Australian backpacker of Elephant World, which is west of here, and you can volunteer for a month, and you can actually bathe the elephants, be a bit of a tour guide, and it's all volunteers. So that's something I definitely want to come back and do.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to travel and to see places, see the world, and the person that you are today? So
so my first trip abroad to another country by airplane was to Dominican Republic when I was 15 with my mother.
Cool.
Just went for a week vacation. That was fun. It was just like my first time away, so I was a little shaky about it all, wasn't sure. Then the next year we went to Barbados, and this is all in the Caribbean, south of Canada and America, and we got to swim with sea turtles and snorkel over shipwrecks, and that was when I was like, oh, I need to travel. That's when I got bit by the travel bug, we say, right?
God, it sounds like true. It's really addictive, you know, when you try and stuff like that. So what is your, since you travel all these places, so what is your beautiful, the most beautiful country that you've ever visited so far? Which one? Like in general, all the country that you've been visited.
Well, I would say each country has its own to offer. So in Australia, I met the most beautiful people. Bali was gorgeous. I met a lot of really great artists. But Jamaica is in my heart, I think, for the most beautiful scenery. They have gorgeous waterfalls, just like not even turquoise, like sky blue, and it's all natural. And I went to the Appleton Rum Factory, and we got to taste all the different rums. Like, it was great. We got there, we did our tour, got to see how it was made in the olden days, and then they actually put a bottle of each kind of rum, about 14 different bottles.
Wow,
out for us to try. So that was really cool. We got to try all sorts of different rums. And to this day, Jamaica has probably been my absolute favorite.
What was your unforgettable travel experience?
So I met a girl, an Irish girl, when I was doing my farm work in Australia, and we were like two peas in a pod. What I was thinking, she was thinking, and we had quite the experiences together working on a farm, but we always found our way back to each other. She'd go to Brisbane, I went to Sydney, and eventually we met back in Brisbane, and we rented a car. And we went up towards Cairns in this car for 2 weeks. We slept in the car, we cooked our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner on the barbecues in the parks, and we had no plan. Our plan was just to get to Cairns, and that was it. So she was the navigator, I was the driver, and she'd be on her phone, and she'd be like, oh, this looks like a nice spot, and we would go pull over to like some secluded beach. It was just the two of us. And we met a guy who was doing fishing along the shore, and he was like, oh, I'm just coming over to show you guys, look at this fish. And it was a little tiny swordfish, and it was so cute, and we just had all these amazing experiences meeting other people, and you know, we saw the most amazing sunrises, because on the east side of Australia you see the sunrise. And we made our way up to Cairns, met some great people, had some crazy experiences, and then the one day we decided, okay, so we've got past Rockhampton, we're going to go a bit further, not much to see, so we drove down to Nimbin for a day, which is it's the third most popular place to stop in Australia, next to Sydney and Byron Bay. So we did that, and it was just fantastic the whole time.
Nice.
We got to experience living out of a car. We didn't need to, we could have stayed in hostels, but it was just the fun of staying in a car and doing a road trip that way.
The thing is, like, especially that you both are two girls.
Yeah.
Like, how brave you are, and then I'm sure at the time, how old were you?
We would have been, I was 20 and she was 19.
Oh my god. That's impressive.
But it's great. And you know, I never feel like I'm scared anywhere I travel, because there's so many people just like me that are traveling around as well.
Right.
And of course you're going to meet the bad people, but most of the time they're people just like you that are traveling, and maybe they're just interested in you. They're interested in your story. Where do you come from?
Sure.
When I'm in China, I get it all the time. People stop and they ask me, where are you from? What are you doing here? And when I reply back in Chinese, they're quite surprised that I can speak this in Chinese. And
Nice.
they're just very interested in how you got from your country
Correct.
to theirs.
That's true.
Yeah, so everyone's always very friendly.
That's great.
Yeah. So how
So yeah, what is your scariest experience? Like, because I'm sure like people, like some people like listening, and then they have the idea and tips from people like you should avoid or not to avoid. So
Right. Well, for me, this is something I don't know if I could have necessarily avoided, but when I was in China my first time, I'd only been there about 2 or 3 weeks, and I couldn't say the name of the school I was working at properly.
Sure.
So I got on the back of a motor taxi, and I told him, Shenxing, Shenxing, and he go, oh, okay. And he took me driving around, and it was probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I just left my friends, and he's just driving around like in a circle, like in random places, and I go, I don't recognize any of this. Where are you taking me? And he didn't speak any English and couldn't speak any Cantonese. And my phone was about to die, and I luckily was able to get one of my friends on my phone with 1% battery left, and I'm like, I don't know where this guy is taking me, please get me home to my school. Like, I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do, where to go, because of the language barrier, because I wasn't familiar with my surroundings. I'd only been there for a few weeks. So don't get on the back of a motor taxi unless
In the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night and the person doesn't know where they're going. That's the biggest thing, is if they don't know, don't get on, go to the next one.
Yeah, especially when you're just like, you know, you're alone and things
Yeah.
like that. So.
And I was only 19 then, so
Oh
yeah.
my god. You're brave. That's brave of you. What traveling means to you, Destiny?
Traveling, I got bitten from a young age, about 16, and I was hooked. 17, I was in my last year of high school, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do as my career, but I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to see what it was like on the other side of the world. So that's where I fueled my passion, was to finding ways that I could travel from the age that I was, that I could sustain myself outside of Canada, and that I could just continue going. And so far it's been a success 2 years later, and I'm still
Imagine like
going.
your inspiration, like you just don't know, but you inspired the young girls. But from your age now, you're 21 and you traveled, you away from home, and like, you know, like your wings are strong enough to fly. So I'm so proud
Thank
of
you.
Your parents must be proud of you too, your sisters, and hey, hi to them.
Hello Mom, hello Peyton,
Yeah,
hello
that's
Grandma.
Hi everyone. So what is your travel advice to people?
So a lot of people I meet are always very scared or cautious about going abroad, going to a new city, going to a new country. Don't be afraid, just go for it, because if you let your fear stop you, you'll never be able to do anything. And I know that's a very common quote, but it's the absolute truth, because I was speaking to someone that I know, and I said, come out and teach English with me in China. And they're just like, no, what if I get there and I don't like it? I sold my car, you know, I have no money or no job when I come back. And I said, you just go with it. Why would you not like it? If you have it in your head that you're not going to like it, then you're going to manifest that in your experience.
Correct.
So what you really need to do is go with an open mind, see all these amazing new things for what they are, and take it as it is. You know, if you love it, you love it. If you don't like it, then you think, well, you know, it was a great experience, but now I'm off to the next place. And you're already in one place. You don't need to go home. You can go somewhere else in Asia, you can go somewhere in Europe, you can go to Australia. You know, you don't like this country, no problem. Then you go to the next, you know, you work for a little bit. If you have no money, you can find jobs anywhere. Like, it's not a difficult thing to travel and to find your next place to go to. Once you're out there, that's the biggest thing, is taking the leap and getting out of your comfort zone.
True.
Yeah, once you're there, then it's easy going, easy flying.
Correct.
Yeah. But it's just honestly finding something that you love doing, and there's so many ways to travel, whether you have a lot of money or little money. Just depends on you going out there and finding those ways. So there's like teaching English, there's volunteering, and you can volunteer doing farming, you can do it on marine conservation, you can do it teaching, working in an orphanage. Maybe you need to have about $500-600 to cover you for a month for your expenses. Food and accommodation, because you are volunteering, they're not paying you to do it. But just find out what you really want to do, and if you love to travel and that's somewhere you feel that your heart needs to go, you'll find that way to do it. And that's how I did it. I asked around, I talked to people. One of my friend's sisters started by teaching English, sorry, of course she can talk English. And she said, just go online. You know, we've got the ease of access to the internet and the web these days. There should not be any issues about finding those ways to travel if that's where your heart is. If you're just on the ball about it, try it. Try going for a month, try going for 2 months. Book yourself a one-way ticket and see what you think. I never bought my way home because I knew that I'd love it and I'd find more ways to go. And being young, there's so many working holiday visas out there. That's another reason why I've continued to travel, is because after I'm 31 years old, I don't have the same opportunity as I do now. So I can go to school when I'm 30, 40, 50, 60. I can go anytime. But these working holiday visas are only available to me now for the next 10 years. So I'm going to take full advantage of that. I want to travel. That's my life now. And the experience that I've gotten from it, so many people have gone to school, they've graduated, but they don't have a job because they don't have the experience. I'm lucky enough to get experience over all different sorts of fields. When I go back, hopefully I shouldn't have too hard of a time to get myself a job. And
I don't think so, because
Nah.
you have a lot of experiences. You're good.
right, exactly. So that's what I'm hoping for. When I was in Australia, I pretty much got my pick of the job because everybody was trying to hire me because I'd done working with children in all different ways. I fundraised to fundraise for cancer research. I worked on a farm. I taught English to all different levels. I've been to so many different countries. They're just like, you're very versatile. You're very adept to everything. You know, you would be a great hire. Thank you very much. That's what I've gotten from traveling, you know? And that's, yeah, it's been really great. It's been really great.
Thank you, Destiny.
Thank you, Fiona. It's been great with you the last
too.
3 times. Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. Always remember the world is our house, countries are our living rooms, lakes, seas and oceans are swimming pools. Thank you and have a safe travel.
So, Adika.